Good morning, traders. Are you guys ready to get back and see if we can make some money? I got Zunaid back into the hot chair. I know you guys are going to be excited about that. So start us up with a big thumbs up. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes even before we get to the market bell. Let's see what happens today. Let's start it up. Welcome to live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, let's get it started. I got Ryan Faloona back. I got Zunaid back. You guys know we're all back, ready to get into the hot seat and see what trading action brings this week. Of course, on the plate this week, we got a lot of earnings towards the end of the week. We got Wednesday PPI, Thursday CPI, Friday retail sales, and Zunaid's like, I don't know about anything PP, CP, or retail. But there's one thing I do know. It's my haircut, and that's looking good. So we're ready for this market. Let's get after it, my friend.
Look, the only PP I care about is my own one. But let me
protect that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what better way to come back than a joke like that, right? But look here, let's go ahead and kick things off here. One of the ones I'm looking at today is going to be Rivian. With the recall of everyone in their grandma's car, Rivian, I'm going to expect to go short this one. The level for me is $33. So if it gets to around 33, you can see I've already got an alert set here. If the if the stock comes up to around 33, I'm going to go ahead and try to short it. I will give it about $1 stop loss. As you can see here, you had resistance or around the 34 level, and it came back down, and 33 was support. So I do expect it to come back and test it. If you want to be aggressive with it, 32.50-ish, you can start getting some, but the closer you get it to 33, the better risk reward for me. Let's go ahead and check out Tesla. Tesla has just been dippity dip. And now you've got a support around 218 here. So that's the note that I'm going to make right here, 218. If the stock wants to come down there, I would go ahead and buy it for a scalp of at least a point, with the stop loss below the 217 area or so. This resistance or the support area of 222 could be interesting here as well. But to me, if I'm going to try to be patient with it, I want to be patient with the pre-market low, which is approximately 218. I'm going to assume something's happening with the market because everything's kind of moving up there. And then let's go ahead and move this puppy up. So you can see this right here was the low of the low of Friday sessions. So I'm going to mark that there around 261. And then, of course, you've got 260 right there as well. So if you're looking to go long, you can wait for it to come back and test the 261. Maybe grab 25% of your position. And if it gets to around 360 or so, you can go ahead and grab some more and kind of scale your way in. That way, if it bounces at 261, you still got a little bit in your trade. If it comes down to 260, you're able to average yourself in the trade. And if it gets to 360, 359, you can go ahead and see yourself out. Let's go ahead and talk about Apple. The 140 level is something that I'd be interested in. You can see it kind of held this support, but then it finally cracked, and now we're above it as well. The 139 seems to be the pre-market low, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that there. Let's just go ahead. Cool, that's done. I'm trying to do a better job of marking why I have something where I have it, but anyway, I don't know what this is. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So we'll see where things go. I don't really have a good solid read on going short on a lot of these names just yet, except if we can go ahead and get to maybe like the 370s on SPY, be interested in going short. But for now, I'm just looking to play the long. Same story here on the 360 area if it wants to come back down and test it out. We already actually talked about that. As I keep talking, I remember that. Qs are below the 270 area that I had as support. Would not be surprised if this ends up holding as resistance, but I want to be patient. I want things to kind of set up before I just go ahead. And Rice Krispie Man is back. Yeah, Rice Krispies have been the hell of me this past week. Let me tell you. One day I had 10, Ryan. I had 10 Rice Krispie. Bro, it was a bad day. I'm not going to lie.
I can imagine.
I had lost $700. I had 10 Rice Krispies. I had 2 Mountain Dews, and I bet on the Broncos for some damn reason.
You bet on the Broncos, man. That was the worst. That was the worst of all the things that you said there, honestly.
I agree. It's one of those things where it's like, you know what? I'm just going to lose it all. Who cares? Rip the Band-Aid off of trauma is what I went through. But anyway, we're hoping for a better week. We're hoping for a better week. I started, I'm starting that Habits. I don't know if you guys have read the Atomic Habits or not, but I just got that book, starting to read it, all that other good stuff. Trying to be a better man. But anyway, going back to stocks here, those are kind of really it. Ford was one that I was taking a look at. I believe they had a downgrade. So Ford wants to come back up to around $12 or so. I'd be interested in going short with a stop loss of maybe about 15, 20 cents above 12. So the closer you get it to 12, the better, in my opinion. Ford does have ways to go in terms of $11, right? So you can see it's been down there before. I can set an alert here in case it does want to get back here. We can try to play a bounce. If Ford ultimately, I think I should have an alert. Nope, I don't, but I will put one now. If Ford ever in life gets to around $10.10, I would like to load up for scalps around that $10 area because I believe that psychological number, this, that, the other, should give us a beautiful trade on that. So plenty of levels on Ford. Let's see which ones get where so that we can go ahead and activate it. And then let's see if there's any other last minute tickers that I wanted to go with. Oh, the $100 level on Google. This one, I was so happy that I got a chance to play it. I was short this puppy on Friday was a solid day for me. Thursday sucked. Friday was solid. But $100 on Google, you can see, came back up 50 cents of a move, and then it came right back down. VWAP rejected, 100 rejected, came right back down. So now we continue to keep an eye on it, right? I would not be hesitant to go short Google if the market was kind of weak, and if this wanted to test 100 again, I'd be happy to go short one more time on this one. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and move that there. And then we can see if we can get a move on Google to the downside. And PayPal had some nonsense that they were going through. I forgot what everyone was upset about. I tried to figure it out.
They said that they would automatically charge you $2,500 if you did not agree with their woke stance.
Okay, so that's what I read, but I didn't understand why a financial company gave 2 cents. So that's the point, right? Okay.
In addition to that being,
because I felt like I was missing something. I was like, why do you care? And also, how do you spread misinformation on PayPal? I guess it's like, oh, if you have a newsletter that you're charging for, and that's how I don't know. I just didn't understand the whole thing. But
the fact that it was even discussed is a black eye for that company.
Yeah, as you can see, PayPal taking a hit in the pre-market. If PayPal wants to come back to 90s, I think you can go ahead and try giving this one a shot to the short side. You can see how PayPal held that 90 as support, and then boop, 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 downside. Here we go. We are going to go ahead and set an alert there for PayPal. In terms of small caps, because I clearly can't do it. There's been a volume in RMED, but it's been kind of pumped and whatnot, so I'm going to leave this one alone, and then I'll rely on Ryan to tell me where I should have my eyes.
All right. Well, the first thing that I want to know from Zunaid is what book about being a better man coaches you to eat 10 Rice Krispie treats in a day? That
I started reading it last night. The Rice Krispies happened last week. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. But yeah, if anyone wants to read the book, it's a very popular book. It's called Atomic Habits. We can have a reading club about it. A book club about it. A book club. Look, I wasn't born here. Okay. There you go.
I'm not even going to touch that. Anyway, you had talked earlier about some of the futures are kind of ticking up. At the Dow here, we're up about 118 points, 116 points here in the pre-market. We did have some comments here from the Chicago Fed President Evans, said that there's great uncertainty, or says great uncertainty remains over how high overshooting rate rise has a cost to the economy. So again, he's kind of doubling down on what he said. I believe it was last week. It was either last week or the week before, when we were worried about going too fast, which is what a lot of investors are worried about. And he goes on to say that he expects to raise rates slightly above 4.5. by early 2023. Says restrictive monetary policy needed for some time after the rate increase ends. So this is the Fed doing their jawboning. They're kind of trying to tell you what they're thinking, but they don't want the market to necessarily sniff out yet when everything is going to stop, exactly what those values are going to be. So I think that there's still going to be some back and forth here. I'm still expecting 275 bips raises by the end of the year. We'll see what happens last year or next year. But here you have one of the Fed guys kind of saying, we are worried about overshooting. Maybe, we don't want this to go too fast. And I think the market is liking that. Question is really going to be, how does the market trade when it actually opens? I mean, here we are in the pre-market. We've seen this market gap up 200 points only to close on the lows and close red. So a lot will be determined when the session actually opens. Now, as far as some of the things that we're looking for here today, couple of things on the list. First of all, CRCN, this is under $1, but this was called out by one of our chatters last week, and this is up again. So if we take a look here, we had a high of 48 cents on Wednesday, I believe that was when this was shouted. Looks like we're up here flirting with that 40-cent level. So we'll see if 48 is in play today. I'm not going to trade this, but if penny stocks are your jam, looks like CRKN is moving here this morning. Next is going to be IMUX, and this is a Munich. And there is a catalyst here today. Munich shares are trading higher after the company announced 60 million oversubscribed private placement and equity financing. Now, the other thing that's interesting about IMUX here is that if we go to the calendar and we go to the analyst ratings, you can see that there are quite substantial price targets on this. The highest one here is 71 by an analyst at Piper. We have a couple of pretty high HC Wainwright ratings in here, but we also have a GS and Wedbush and Leerink and JP Morgan and BMO in here. So IMUX clearly has some upside here. We're popping up here today. 580 looks to be the spot. We are holding above VWAP. I have a VWAP here of 537.5. So let's call it 538. Realistically, I want this to find footing when the market opens, and I want to see what levels this likes to hang out at, and then what levels might actually be breached. I would love this on a move to the upside here through 579. This one could get going here today. So I'm going to watch this, but I'm not going to buy it out the gate. I don't want to be faked out right at the open here. Next is going to be Sober, and this has given us a number of opportunities. And what's great about this one, if we go to the 15-minute chart, you can see we're actually popping back into a range that we've been in before. So some of these lines that we drew the first time Sober came on our radar are now applicable again for today's session. We're currently at 299, so we're hovering right around 3. You can see we did have some pretty decent resistance here at 315. I would expect that to give us our first indication about how Sober is actually going to trade today. Wouldn't be shocked if we got a spike out of the gate right into that resistance level and then an immediate pullback. Where it settles is going to determine where we can buy this. One of the things about Sober is a lot of the times that this pushes up, unless you get in that move early, it likes to pull back on you. So I think you might have better opportunities buying some of those pullbacks as long as some of those key support levels hold. So we're going to watch Sober. We've had this one on our radar before. We've traded it before. We know it trades a little bit wild. So factor that into your trading plan here today, but it is moving. So it definitely seems to be on deck here today. We did have a catalyst here. They're trading higher if the company announced a relationship with a distributor that has ties to air, rail, and shipping. So I'm guessing here that the feeling is perhaps they can install their product or perhaps get another contract here. So we'll see how this ends up panning out. Neuro is going to be another one here. We've traded Neuro quite a bit. This one actually kind of low float here, right? 7 million in the float. So we're actually under 10 million here in the float. We've held 317. We're currently at 333. We've got a pretty decent range between 317 and 351. Ideally, we also have a VWAP right about 350. So ideally, I'd like to see this move through 350 and then give us setups on actually trading it. That's what I'm going to be looking for here on Neuro. Stock this small and float, not going to be my primary target, but we'll definitely keep it on watch. And again, want to wait till this settles. Don't necessarily want to grab this right out of the gate. Don't feel great about anything here right out of the gate. Want to see how this Monday shakes out. Another one here is going to be SNTI. We should all be familiar with this. SNTI has given us multiple opportunities. Friday pretty much just bled all day. But it looks like we're trying to have a bounce here today. So first things first, we're currently hovering right around 483. Definitely need to see this move through 5. Would love to see this take out the VWAP and then build above. I'd like to see some volume and some shares trade hands above that VWAP before making a move here towards 6 or even 550 if we can end up getting that. So SNTI, we're going to watch this one too. Zila, I'm going to completely ignore this one. I've been burned by this stock before. It's another penny stock. There's all sorts of different catalysts on this. It's moving if you want to trade it, but be very careful. This one has been kind of rough on me. So I'm going to skip that one. So that's what we're watching here this morning.
Awesome.
We'll wait for Mitch to get back. Zunaid, I for one am really glad to have you back. I was worried that Mitch was just going to be sad trombone since his Rays got eliminated from the playoffs last week. I'm excited the baseball playoffs are here.
Well, don't forget about the Dolphins now. He's double sad.
He's double sad. Dolphins look like they're coming back to earth. Rays were eliminated. Just pray for Mitch, right? Pray for Mitch.
Well, at least Mitch is back.
We won't even mention the Bears, right? We won't even mention the Bears.
You can mention the Bears. From the preseason, I have been consistent mentioning that the Bears are an atrocity. And we saw that again. Now, the one thing I will say about the Bears, real quick, is that Fields wasn't the problem yesterday. So if you're going to look at this as a rebuilding year and you want to see some signs from Justin Fields, despite drops from his teammates, Dante Pettis, what are you still doing in the league? I don't know. Despite some poor play from the rest of his team, he was not the reason that they lost. So I'll take that. But you're right, Mitch. The Bears are horrible. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and it's all just going to be about if we get Tua back. Let's just be honest with Tua. The team was rolling, baby. Let's keep it going. Let's get to some stocks out there. Let's take a look at the overall market and where I could see the top playing in today. I can see a top playing in around the 365. So I don't think we have too much to the upside. Could look for some pops right out the gates, but I think we're going to get probably a 945 turnaround. I think we're going to start trying to make some lows before we get to the CPI data. And the reason I feel we're going to do that is that we're just going to try to price it in and then kind of maybe even rally off of that. So I'm looking for this 357 to come into play at some point this week. Will it be Monday? Will it be Tuesday? Will it be Wednesday? It could be all the way until Wednesday that we go and then test that level. So we'll see what happens right now. I think we're going to have a choppy week. We couldn't make a move up towards 365, 366. But I think you're going to be within this kind of range here. And I think with that being said, you got to be careful. If we are taking day trades, will these kind of day trades last towards any direction? I wouldn't expect that. I would be expecting to play really quick, tight ranges. Either I'm selling it at the resistance, not really looking for the breakout. That's the style of trades that I'll be looking for. Or reversal style trades, which work better in this type of market right now, at least from what I've been seeing in this bear market. So that's what I'll be looking for today. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that we can be watching. Of course, Tesla has been on a hard downturn, and I can think it could continue down as a lot of people expect that potentially Elon Musk will sell some more shares and knock this down further. This is the downside outlook for Tesla. If he's going to sell some more shares, hell yeah, it's going through probably that June low. But if he doesn't, maybe he can get things to turn around in Tesla. We'll see. That's one of the stocks that we have to watch in Apple. Will they keep coming for Apple? Will they break it back down towards 136? We'll see today. I think that's what you need to keep watch. Have your watch on Apple and Tesla. If they continue to go, I think this market will just continue to leak on out and nothing's going to save us. Microsoft is one that we could actually look for a short today. You can see the market's actually up, but Microsoft leading down towards the open here. I think it eventually cracks today and we really start seeing leaking from these companies. And then you'll see a turnaround from like stocks like Apple. It's already been going up since around 5 a.m. Let's see what happens once it gets towards the bell. I think you get a little bit of a spike maybe towards 141. But then a quick turnaround following that. We'll see what happens today. And energy names, right? That's another big trend that we saw last week. Will these continue? I think eventually you see the bigger names take a little bit of a pause, but we could find some smaller names to start catching a bid like TEL. TEL's on my radar today. As we start seeing a lot of times these energy stocks rip, we usually get a moment in time where the bigger stocks kind of take a little bit of sideways action or pullback action, and these smaller ones start taking some lift. So I'll keep watch on stocks like that, like TEL today, to see if these can start making moves on up. And another one you can keep on watch, EOG has been going sideways a little bit since Thursday. This one could take another step up, has resistance above it. I'll be looking at stock like MPO or MPC, Marathon Petroleum Corp. Look for this one, maybe get through the 109 area. We'll see what happens. Valero, I'll look for this one to catch a bounce. This one actually pulled back on Friday. Looking for this one to catch a bounce today. If oil's going to come up, of course, the bigger names could take a pullback, even though some of these smaller names like TEL get a little bit of a lift. You could look at BORR, or maybe you're looking at an INDO, right? We'll see what happens with these. Will these start getting a spike? Not a bad one to keep on watch. INDO is a move above 825. If that happens today, we'll look for it to kind of get a push towards 850s and 875. Elon can't sell if it has to be before earnings. Yes, I agree with that. I don't expect it to be before earnings, but I do expect Elon selling. So do I want to be in Tesla before then? No, because if the outlook is for him to sell, I think the outlook would be for Tesla to keep coming down. And of course, you're getting more and more recession talk out there. I think eventually this comes for the auto industry, as you're going to see horrible auto sales next year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what happens with that, especially because Twitter was moving on news and stuff. Not something I definitely would not try to play Twitter. That's for sure.
I called that turnaround there for a second there, and I just wouldn't be playing Twitter here. It just seems to me like it makes more sense to take the money and run than to be in it here. But hey, to each his own.
If I had a position prior to that announcement and that recent run up, I would have done exactly what you just said, Mitch. I would have taken the money and set it up to deploy somewhere else. If you're in from the high 30s and you get a move to the high 40s, what are you waiting for the extra 5 points?
Yeah, no, exactly.
There's too much risk in the deal.
Especially if you're like these hedge funds that have millions of it, right? It's going to make a difference in millions. And I think the difference in a couple dollars is going to make a difference in thousands or tens of thousands. Yeah. I'll take the millions over the tens of thousands worry. All right, let's take a look at other stocks you guys can be taking a look at. I will be watching if ChargePoint can hold on. It's right off the support. We've been looking at this $15 support as a level that it could get a nice little push. So if you're seeing some stocks get up today, maybe ChargePoint is one you're taking a look at. Of course, ARKK, right off the lows. We could get a little bit of a growth, kind of little push here right out the gates. So we'll see what happens. A lot of these stocks are been hit hard. AMD right now down towards 57. If AMD gets towards 50, I already told myself I'm going to start doing a longer term position and start sizing in AMD. Of course, do I think it could eventually come down maybe to even 33s? That's still a level that I have on my watch. But near the 50s, I'll start sizing in for a longer term investment style in AMD. I think AMD is not going anywhere soon. And if anything, their processors are just going to get better, right? So we'll see what happens there.
And real quick, shout out Dazzy here. It is Columbus Day. We're not closed. The stock market is not closed, but the bond pits are closed. So
wow, they couldn't give us a day off. Come on, you're killing me.
Cool. I'm a big fan of those Mondays off after NFL Sundays.
Yeah,
we didn't get one today. We didn't get one today, but that's okay. We're going to play.
I don't like Columbus.
We'll see how the bond market does reopen tomorrow. So we'll see how that reacts to the Fed comments here from today. But maybe you'll see a little bit of a lighter day today with the bond market being closed.
Yeah, I think at some point you got to figure out where you want to start dipping your toes. And it doesn't mean that you guys have to do it, of course, on AMD.
Here we go.
But have your levels that you're looking at for the long-term buys. I spy with my little eyes. What will happen here? Will we get a push here towards 365? That's the level up. I see that we could run into resistance. Why do I think that's the resistance? Well, that's a 50% retracement of Friday's downside action. So let's see what happens there. Will we reject and come right back down? Microsoft is one that I'm looking to see right off the gates. It was coming down towards 232, finding a quick bounce there. So we'll see what happens here.
IMUX here for currently holding at 530. First move here. Looks like it's trying to bounce. We got the VWAP at 540. Let's see if IMUX can get going here. Waiting for this. There we go. Moving a little higher. I'm going to wait for this to shake out. No position yet.
I'm going to go ahead and start taking a short here on Rivian, about 20% size. I got short at 32.08. 32.08. I am short Rivian.
Sober right to its VWAP here. Oh, IMUX, excuse me. IMUX coming back in here a little bit. See if it can get going. Been a little wild so far. Sober above that 346.
Rivian, we're 40 cents of the money. I'm going to go ahead and scale out half here. AMV is halted.
Yep.
Ooh, AMV.
Sober right into that resistance. Neuro gearing here as well. IMUX, let's see if it can try to pop above 548. I'm going to try a little right here. Stop at 530. Reduce my position size here because this is a wild stock. I'm actually going to move my stop to 520 because I reduced my position. I want it to actually break this 530. I feel like my stop might get flushed. It's a lesson that we're learning from last week, right? So here, so IMUX, sorry, I have the wrong stock on the wrong screen here. Lesson I'm learning from last week, having the stops too tight. So I marked 526 here. Stop's going to be 520. Reduced size here. Now
Covering more Rivian here at 31.22s. That's almost a point that we just got. Now it's at 31.12s. If it bounces from 31, that's perfectly okay. I do ultimately believe this will get back to 30 sometime today, but I am going to scale out on the way. So we've scaled out at 64s, 32s, and 22s for me on RIVN.
All right, breaking below that 530 level here on IMUX. Let's see if that increased stop saved me. Stop at 520 here. We'll see if we can move back towards the highs.
I'm liking utilities today. Excel was one that I was about to grab at 60.20. It's already at 60.40s. So I would have to have bought it off the high, but they do look good today. Utilities are leading us into the green right now. And utilities have been beaten down. You could look at XLU as one of the measures to kind of watch to see this. So Duke getting a nice little lift also. SO is another one you guys can watch. These are nice little lifts today. NEE, Nextera Energy. Looking for some pullbacks in some of these energy plays, which are utilities right now that are getting some lift. What's down? Technology and basic materials. BTU right off the VWAP there. Looks interesting for me.
Still waiting here on IMUX. Needs to either stop me or make a direction towards the highs.
Industrial's trying to sneak into the green here. Energy back into the green now.
Market not really getting a bit of a push after the open here. I feel like direction not yet decided.
Definitely not.
Now still green plus 160 here, but doesn't seem to be getting any push.
Apple going hard into the red now. That's a sign for red for me. Look at that. That's pretty hard. Three action. Apple 3 minutes, 3 candles straight down here. Looking at Microsoft, trying to see it go to the red here. If I can get a little bounce here.
Twitter curling back towards its pre-market highs here, interestingly. And stopped out of IMUX. So 0 for 1 here on the day. Oh, wow. IMUX continuing to pull. Your first stop is your best stop. So reducing the or loosening up my stop here definitely worked for the trade, but the trade itself did not work. Ended up going here to lows. IMUX is going to really need to set up. I'm going to need that VWAP to come back in, I think, for this to be on deck here. So
Rivian,
we'll look around here. Go ahead.
Rivian corrects the 31s.
Yeah, slow on these shorts. I should have got shorted Microsoft there at 233. Was slow towards it. It already went to 232.20s, almost 32s. Going to look for maybe to catch Tesla on the short. That's already broken down. Let's look at some other stocks to see if we can find it. Ford still down. We'll see if that can get a little bounce. Lucid is one that I'd short, but it's already down there towards 1286.
Apple right to the lows. Same with Tesla. Watch that pre-market low at 218 on Tesla if that snaps here. Great short on that Rivian trade out the gate, Zunaid. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back, buddy.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to be very selective of what I trade, which is why I've only taken one trade thus far, as Tesla's making new lows.
Yeah, I took IMUX instead of Sober, and that looked to be the wrong play here. So we'll see if any of these set up. Didn't really get hurt all that bad though because of the sizing. Neuro looks like it's trying to bounce off this 320 spot on Neuro. Sober did go towards the highs here. I feel like Sober needs to pull back here for it to set up again, which is one of the things I'm going to be watching. Neuro making a move towards its VWAP here. VWAP at 344 on Neuro. That 320 spot, it's given 13 cents off that 320 spot so far. Must be the Rice Krispie treats. There you go, Zunaid.
It gets the stimulants going, you know? No, I'm kidding. That's definitely not it. But let's see if Tesla gets back to about the 222s. If you're interested in shorting Tesla, you can see if it gets back to the 222s to give you a chance to go short on that one again.
All right, short here on XPEV, 950s.
Tesla and Apple trying to bounce here. First attempt at the bounce. We'll see if this ends up holding or if it just returns to lows. Market's still coming in here.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's moving up. Yeah, if Tesla can get here, I'm going to pay attention to Tesla. If Tesla can go and get to VWAP, I'd be interested in possibly a short there, but it's still only 8 minutes into the market. Because you've got the previous close there as well. So it's already gone green to red. Yeah, let me go ahead and see which one I want to play. Let's see. October 18th.
All right, guys. I'm short off of a VWAP fade from China Auto. So I'm going XPEV. We've seen the autos dip there. I'm taking the China down.
You're taking China down. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and enter a short here. Oh, got a terrible fill as it just fell. Damn it. 206.67 puts expiring November 18th. I got a bad fill at 14.45. It's not the biggest fan of it, but it's all right. It's where I'm in. It is what it is.
Did you just do that at market? Is that what happened?
It was just the fact that Tesla fell right as
you did it.
Yeah. And then yes, it was a market trade. But that's all right. I am going to have a let me put the equity short. Go ahead.
Tops moving up here. Be careful. We talked about Tops being kind of a difficult stock to trade.
SBLK is the one that I like in the shipping. If you're looking for another move, that's a move back above 20 right now.
Bitcoin looks like it's rolling over here. VIX currently at 33, so your VIX is still elevated here. Imagine we get higher here if this market rolls over.
I've got a short on the equity side ready to go at 221s on Tesla.
SPY at 262.89. Holding a little bit here, trying to get back to VWAP.
Neuro holding in here at 335, trying to make a push towards VWAP at 343. We'll see if Neuro can get going.
All right, on XPEV, we're going to take majority of the position off here. Just took majority of the position off, just made a nice little cushion on the day here on XPEV. Now I can let the rest of it work. Look to see if we can get to 925s, take the rest of it off and run. I'm trying little base hits this week, just trying to nail in, nail out.
Going to try a little Neuro here. Again, I'm going to reduce the size, and I'm going to put the stop at 315 here on Neuro. Ooh, they took 339. Let's see if they can take out 340 here. They might get rejected at VWAP here too. So I'd like to see it push above VWAP here. We're at VWAP. See if we take out 343 here.
Short Tesla equity at 221. Stop loss will be 223 crack.
I want to see the 38s act as resistance right now, and it knocked right back down through towards the 925 here on XPEV.
So I'm going to go ahead and add a short on Tesla. I went ahead and added a $200 puts expiring December 16th. Got filled at 1566. $200 puts on Tesla expiring December 16th. 1566 is my fill. A 5-minute candle close above 223.07 is my out. And I'm hoping to get low of day. Or actually, I'm hoping to get around 219. And then we can see if we can get low of day. Let's see. Let's have Rivian.
How we doing out there, traders? Let us know if you guys are seeing any big moves in the industry today. What is moving, guys?
Jay Rice on some of the banks here. Goldman Sachs, JPM, they are strong this morning. They start to report earnings later this week. So it looks like the banks are getting watched here. Jay Rice, of course, is on BTU.
BTU. Look at that move.
All right,
I was
there's
liking it there near VWAP, but went for XPEV. What you got?
Well, there's a move there on Tesla. You got yourself you got 1 point, excuse me, on the short on Tesla at 221s. I'm going to go ahead and cover all of my position on the equity.
Sorry,
You're
Zunaid.
good. I got it up for you on the right. And
Yeah, they just brought in a big bid here right under the VWAP. So it looks like they're trying to push it away from VWAP here at 343. They did take the VWAP. Bid is at 341. They just hit it. It's going to come back in.
Not like
I'm actually going to close this here at just about flat. That's plus 1 penny. So we're going to call that flat. Was hoping for more of a push through and away from that VWAP. Didn't get it yet, but Neuro might not be done. This might still set up again.
And good thing we went ahead and covered all of our equities short on Tesla as it popped up a whole 1.5.
Big pop there. Apple bouncing too, Zunaid. Amazon at highs off that bounce.
Out of XPEV. Not really break even, 53s on the rest, but wasn't going to stay in for that little bounce. Was not able to get it at 925, but took that first profit. So we got ourselves a little cushion. Let's see what happens now.
No worry, Jonathan. Hopefully everything is doing well in your non-trading account life. I think that's probably because the bond market's closed today for the Columbus holiday. And Neuro now right under the entry that we had there. So decent stop. Even though it didn't get down to my actual stop, the move that I was expecting to capture didn't materialize, and I ended up cutting it, saving me any more money. So saving me a little bit more money. So took a loss on that first trade, but out flat on the second. Waiting for another setup.
That Microsoft short was nice. It just never got to it. Look at that first down action in Microsoft.
Twitter
straight down in Microsoft. So not a bad little move. BTU still continuing there. Said Twitter at highs. I don't know how people trading that today, but they're trading it. Look at that. Nice little push there.
Yeah, above 50. Nice push.
SPY just hanging out here, just playing games. It's more on the bear side, though.
Tesla's going to stop me out here in a moment.
Woohoo. Nvidia straight down out the gates. That shows me more and more concerns of the new kind of rules that are getting put out by the U.S. and new regulations about applying for licenses. I think this is in the long run going to really affect these China stocks.
FNGR, a blast from last week or the week before, moving up to this 8 level. I think through 8, maybe we take out 810 on FNGR.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out Tesla short for a loss. We can revisit this one at a later time. Thankfully, the equity trade that we had, that one went ahead and saved us some losses, but still going to go ahead and sell the puts at a loss.
Amazon into the green. If you're looking for a bigger cap that's looking good, that's the only one that I see.
Did I make a cheeky innuendo? Not intentionally. Missed it if I did, but no, it wasn't intentional. Oh, you were, because I was talking about finger. No, that was not. I'm looking for stocks that are moving, Tiny Pie. I'm looking for stocks that are moving. I'm trying to make us some money. Started out 0-1 here. Not happy about it. APDN halted. Shout from Jay Wild here. Did you say there was news on this? Announces receipt of largest single purchase order for its linear DNA to date. So shares up about 20% following that on a circuit breaker. We'll watch APND. Looks like as far as former levels here, let's see, 155 and then 176. So let's see what happens out of the halt. Good shout there, Jay. Good shout. Hey, you guys mentioning AMV? AMV bouncing here. Oh my God. Look at that Tesla bounce, Zunaid.
Yeah. Thankfully, we got out the way,
Yeah.
but the damage was done a bit. And you've also got Rivian coming all the way back. This is why, again, it's important to scale out. Because if you tried to hold on to that Rivian trade looking for a home run to 30s, you'd be very, very upset. Because we had a whole point on that trade.
Starting to see a little bit of reversal action coming into play, even looking at a SOX L bull type of play here. Seeing the bottom around the 850s, that would be the risk here. So not a bad looking outlook here. Let's take see if I can get 855s right here. Got 2 minutes left here on this candle. I need to wait for 2 minutes to play out here. Starting to see some bottoming out there.
Yeah, market's trying to hold in here too.
I'm seeing it. If you look at ARK, look how ARK is. Some of these are really holding. Coin, Roblox pushing up. If you want to look for some stocks that are up, Unity got a little bit of a lift today. Snow is right around the VWAP.
Miss Whitehorse, looks like you captured that lucid sell-off right out of the open here. Nice job.
That
Cross
Rivian
back
do.
through VWAP, probably the stop there. Sorry, Mitch.
No, you're good. Not a worry at all. There you go, Miss Whitehorse. You nailed those lucid dreamers.
IMUX did have a curl and pop there. This is one of the things that we were looking at it. Dan, guys, I'm having an issue with my broker. What is your LOD on IMUX?
Netflix.
I have a wick that took us down to 476 on IMUX. Let me see if I can get it on the screen here, Dan. All right, so here's what I'm looking at. I have the same candle here on my broker as I do in TradingView, Dan. Low here, 476. That's exactly what I see in my broker. Hope that helps.
Swing trades are being put on Netflix. It feels like to me towards the upside here with a good day, intraday action already pushing here. A lot of people are expecting Netflix to come back into adding subscribers versus losing subscribers. This is why I think it's getting a little bit of a lift. Of course, this is into the earnings outlook, and I think their earnings are the 18th, but let me just double check on it before I kind of give you guys a wrong date. I hate doing that, so let me just check here. Yeah, on the 18th, Tuesday, after the market opens. So next week, Tuesday, is when Netflix earnings come out. I think it's going to try to run into that earnings. So that'd be a push towards 244 in the next kind of week, 240. Doesn't look too bad there. Netflix having a decent day today.
APDN open, popped right to that 155 level that we just talked about. That was the high from Thursday, currently above that.
I'll give it to you. There you go.
I'm going to try a quick short on Tesla. I could get stopped out as if it moves like 20 cents up, but I just like the risk reward. I'm going to go ahead and grab the 206.67 puts expiring November 18th. If it cracks above 227, I will be out. So it's a quick trade. If I'm right, cool. If I'm not, I'm out, losing maybe 50 cents on it. I'm hoping for it to get back to around 224s to try to take some profits. Filled at 12 bucks.
IMUX doing a good job here trying to hold its VWAP. I've got 548 as the non-wick high print here. See if it pops that. APDN going for that 176 level.
SPY looking like it's going for another low here. Watch out, guys. Some patterns that are going to probably look to start breaking back down. Yeah, Apple heading down towards the lows. That looks like a nice little fade off there. All right, looking to play some shorts out there.
I'm going to take a little IMUX here again. See if we can pop above 549 here. Come on.
All right, the contracts that we got at 12, I'm selling at 12.50. Got filled at 12.45. Sold half at 12.45. Looking to get some more around 12.65.
Looking at SARK right now.
All right, took some more out at 12.65.
I just headed down, trying to break.
Let's go.
Doesn't look good there. For you bulls out there. Trying to see some reversal out there. Rivian looks like a nice short now. Up one, up two. Would look for 31.60 entry here to risk off 31.80s. See if I can get it. Just need a little bit of a bounce here. It's already getting hit. I like that Rivian to the short side here, but I want a little bit of a bounce. Yeah, getting picky with it. It's already washing there.
Selling some more Teslas here at the 12.80. Now I just have one option left, which if it gets to the lower day, that'd be great.
Sark taking off there. Definitely lagged on the hesitation there, and we had some opportunities there. Sark, some shorts definitely playing in there. Best short of the day was one that I liked, but the up move shook me, which was Microsoft. Look at that, straight down on Microsoft.
Stopped out and market rolling over here, so just going to kind of reset the board and be careful. So IMUX pulled back to the VWAP here. Still think that this could set up to go higher, but market's going to have to cooperate, and it is not right now. Uh-oh. Chris with a fat finger trade. I've done that too, man. You got this.
Oh, baby.
Tell you what, I've been stopped out on my trades here, but the stops have been good. I have saved myself quite a bit of money stopping out on my first stop. So I'll take that as a win. Capital protection at its finest here. I didn't have that nice short out of the gate like Zunaid did.
Yep. I'm a little hesitant to keep this one Tesla contract that I have in case he wants to bounce from VWAP. But thankfully, we went ahead and took this at 12. We went ahead and covered along the way at the 12.45s, the 12.65s, and the 12.80s. Right now, it's trading for about $13. That's a whole $1 of a move. Let's see if we can add to this Rivian. I want to go further dated on Rivian and take some puts, but they're just not liquid. Oh, actually, this one is.
Really quick, Angelina mentioning JPM. We talked a little bit about the banks possibly being in play. I would love to know what you're looking for in some of those banks, in particular JPM. Remember, JPM best in breed here. So as far as trading the banks, my targets would be Goldman Sachs or JPM. Just wondering what you're looking for there. Anyone interested in trading the banks?
I'm going to go add to my short one more time on Rivian. As it's below VWAP. What is my short here? 31.19s.
Mike, closing out an SOXS trade. Nice little move there. 4 points out of the open here. Nice trade there, Mike.
All right, the oils are breaking down here. Just want to give that outlook. The oils are breaking down here, coming back towards the support. Utilities still holding strong on the day. Look for some pullbacks in those. It's XCL. Try to get it in here at 50. Just grabbed a little bit there. Gonna add a little bit more on the pullback. There we go. Just grab some there. It's 60.54. See if I can grab a little bit here at 60.50. There we go. All right, so 60.53 here in on Xcel Energy, utility name, as the utilities have been beaten down, looking for a little bit of a bounce back kind of day. Risk is going to be 60.30s here, going to look for it to push back through the 60.80, and then we'll take some profit above the 60.80 going into 61. XEL.
Pat asking here on Domino's. Domino's earnings could be really bad this week in terms of outlook, at least. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I'm thinking pretty much anything exposed to the consumer is likely going to have rough earnings going forward. The one caveat that I would give Domino's is because it's, you know, viewed as an inexpensive pizza chain, maybe it outperforms as people try to cut back on spending and order more Domino's instead of something else. That would be really the only bull case. But otherwise, I would say I would expect earnings for anything consumer facing to be weak this next cycle. I don't have any edge on Domino's, and I'm not playing it, so I have no position going into earnings, Pat.
The edge that I would mention is I ordered Domino's last night.
So there you go, Mitch. Boots on the ground, due diligence.
Definitely help us improve sales. I'm long.
You know those bread bowls sometimes. I don't order pizza too often from Domino's anymore, but I like those little bread bowls.
I'm not sure what that is. I might have to try it out.
You haven't had one before, man?
The bread bowls? No.
Yeah, it's just like they make like a little bread bowl that they throw pasta on top. Boom.
Crassy saying that the Domino's near him has been going hard on coupons. Maybe take that as a negative. I would imagine as the consumer tries to tighten up, a lot of these companies trying to entice more sales by offering coupons. That would make sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on Peggy here. We haven't checked out Peggy yet today. Ooh, you're right on that red-green move. Just down 4 cents from the from that line. And honestly, taking a look at Peggy here, this is Pineapple Energy, right? Energy name from last week. 387 looks to be the maybe 388 where it stopped on Friday. Maybe we make a move towards 4 if we push through that level. This is what I'm looking at here on Peggy. Red to green here on deck, 2 cents away, 387 on a move towards 4. Maybe this can get going. We'll see.
So here's something to keep an eye on. You had Boeing 134 calls coming in on the ask that expired October 14th. So like this week, you had approximately $400,000 worth. Obviously, it made a nice little move, but it's near VWAP. So the closer you can get this to 133, the better, in my opinion, if you want to go long Boeing. If it cracks 132, you're risking about a point or so. That could be an interesting long play. I'm already short Tesla. Excuse me, I'm short Rivian. So I'm not going to try to add another position to it, but I am short Rivian at 31.19s. And of course, I'm still short some size. And my average short price is 31.47. I am going to take a bit of a YOLO short, just grabbing literally 2 contracts on Rivian, $31 puts expiring this week.
Zunaid, you talked about Boeing there, which is interesting. That those call buys, you know, with the market rolling over here, any thought to maybe, buying the 130 puts, short-term 130 puts, and playing a regression back to that 130 level? The calls are interesting because it's against the current move of the market, but I can't help but think if this regresses back towards the mean, after that initial pop. Maybe there's a short-term short setup in there. You're the short guy.
Well, so for me, here's what I'm keeping an eye on is you've got the SPY at the level where I would want to go try to scalp some long, right?
Okay.
I'm not going to because then it messes with my head because I'm already short Rivian. But to me, if the SPY goes ahead and bounces, you can go ahead and get a scalp off of Boeing. But if SPY breaks, if the SPY breaks the 361, it doesn't look good for Boeing.
Yeah.
And I'm also trying to keep an eye to see if they've already exited those calls or not. I don't see them have exiting those calls. But keep an eye on the open interest if this does end up being a 2+ day move. Do not believe Zunaid's height. Oh, that's funny. I didn't even catch that.
I did.
Ryan the bully. No, it's because you said you're the short. It's because you said you're the short guy.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Shelly, you are just a complete.
I didn't catch that either. Way to catch
I didn't catch it. Yeah, I didn't even have any. I wasn't even joking.
Ooh. Let's go, Netflix.
IMUX still trying to break out of here. IMUX is going to go when I'm not in it. I can feel it.
I am the short guy. I am.
I don't height shame anybody, though.
AMV is halted again.
XEL not working for me right now. I'm going to hold towards the risk. Don't want to see anything close below 630. Netflix is at least working for me here. Entry to Netflix is 229.81.
What's going on with AMC, folks? I don't see any news. Just popping here.
AMC.
Shares of several companies in the broader communication, media, and entertainment industry are trading lower amid overall market weakness as related to the Fed. AMC seems to be bucking that trend, popping and moving towards the highs here, 680-year highs here. So this is just back into the range where we were at on Friday. This might just be a dead cat bounce on AMC. Let's check out 8 while we're in that as well. That chart looks the same. Someone is asking, how tall am I? I am 6'4", so I am nearly 6.5 feet tall.
So I'm like 5'7", and I did an interview 2 weeks ago with a dude that was 6'8", and it was. I'm gonna try to find that picture because it was not pretty. It was like, bro, it was so bad. Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
You didn't find yourself a little stool, bro, or something?
A couple of phone books.
Well, we did a little bit when I did the interview, but then we took a picture outside, or I guess not outside, but still within the studio. Here, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it was not.
SOXS just really pushing that higher as this market rolls over. That was a great trade, Mike. You were on that from the open there. I know you closed it, but still, great trade.
It's interesting. I'm playing 2 upside moves with the SPY coming down the way it is right now.
Relative strength, that's how you find it. Those banks rolling over, by the way, JPM, Goldman Sachs rolling over here after that initial push out of the open.
Netflix coming back down a little bit, right back to my entry here. Got to be careful. I want to see it hold the VWAP.
Mike, it's still moving. Yeah, you know what, though? I'm at the point in my trading career where if I don't hit the top, I'm okay with that. If I sell something for a profit and it keeps going, unless it gets just stupid past the level, I can't let that bother me. I still hit it.
Can't blame you on that.
You know, I can't make it any harder on myself. I can't take a profitable trade and then find a way to get mad at that. That's gonna breed bad discipline. It's gonna make me step away from my plan.
Definitely. And one of the things on that is that the number one thing that you need as a trader is confident in your own ability. Yeah. If you have no confidence in your own ability, what the hell are you doing here?
Keith on APDN. That's why news moves, right? That's why we want to take hold of it. That's why we want to follow our news. By the way, description for Benzinga Pro, link for 2 free weeks in the description below. APDM, there might be another trade here. IMUX sure does look like it wants to move higher here, above 550. Got to think that this 580 gets tested here at some point. I'm not in it now. I've tried twice at IMUX, and my timing's been off, but still moving here.
All right, guys, I'll show you guys XEL, Excel Energy, and Netflix trade for me off the VWAP. SPY trying to come back a little bit. That's going to help me a little bit. Once we get to 231s, I'll take a little bit of profit on Netflix and then look for it to continue. XEL's not looking great there. Risk out is a 630. We'll see what happens. 60-30 there.
Come on. Yep. See, there's that bounce. We've had that 661. Yeah, we had the 361.14 level picked out, and you got yourself a point of a bounce on the SPY.
All right, trying to get out half there on Netflix, but it went down really fast. It spiked through the 231s. It wasn't able to take some out there. Should have had the order sitting there.
Come on, Rivian, just crack. Come on, SPY. You can do it.
Canceled my order there for Netflix, looking for another little spike to get into it.
Oh, no baseball today.
No, football day. Baseball doesn't matter no more.
Yeah, well, you got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders, I think.
Netflix playing with me here. Trying to take some out here above 230s into the 231s, but just quick when she goes through there.
All right, back. Oh, we got a Chiefs fan in the chat. Go Chiefs. I got the Chiefs defense tonight in a league where I'm still close. And I think I also have Hunter Renfrow. So
Nice.
Still have a chance in that league.
Nah, I'm going for a big Raiders day. Raiders!
Hater.
I mean, the Chiefs have had their time, bro.
The Raiders, I don't know when they will.
Now's their time. Show up on a Monday Night Football. Put the stomp on Kansas City. I don't think they will, but hey, they got their chance.
The Colts beat Kansas City, so you never know.
Half there off on Netflix. Took a little bit of profit at 231.06. Now can let the rest of it work there. Excel's the one that's tough right now.
There's the drop on Rivian. Let's go, baby. Gonna go ahead and cover just a little bit here. We got short at 31.18s. We're going to cover some at 30.85s as it tests the low of day. SPY is also testing low of day. And of course, the YOLO calls that we have are up 14%, but I want at least 50% on those, so I'm not selling a single one.
Yep. Great on that, Peggy. Whoever shouted that earlier, Z Digital calling it right now. Peggy breaking through 4. Whoever shouted this earlier, great spot here on Peggy. There was the red to green. I think that was Jay. I can't remember. It was our chat. It was our community. You guys are amazing. Move through 387 here. Looks like we kind of pulled back through that, but pushed back up here till 4. Peggy now, what, 20 cents higher than that red-green move. We started talking this when this was minus 3 cents. So 22 cents of move here on Peggy, where it's at right now. Was even higher than this. Great shot.
Just another step lower there, now towards 361 and coming lower, guys. Not finding the bounce there in the overall market today, and you got to be careful there. Eventually, even bullish plays can turn around towards the red side if the market's just going to keep leaking.
Dan saying IMUX is setting up so nice. It just needs a little more time. Longer the better. I agree with you, Dan. IMUX. Remember, I was a little early to this twice here. This formation here, this sure looks like we're going higher here. 555 might be that break. We're currently at 553. Let me watch this right here. I'm tempted to take some more, but I don't want to take 3 L's on this. I agree. It looks like this really wants to pop here. Maybe I'll just reduce my size again. They just took 555. Yanked it beneath. We'll see. Sure looks like this wants to go higher. I'm with you, Dan. We've been watching this one from the open here. This is on the list. We've got the spots identified. I've got 557 as the high print in this range. Right here, 557. Here comes some of that volume.
I'm going to go short SPY. 361 puts expiring December 16th. 361 puts expiring December 16th. My fill price is $16.92.
All right, got to get out of this XLE trade. This is coming down fast here. I want to see it recover here.
Here we go on IMUX.
Plus I'm out.
Here we go on IMUX. Nope, they yanked it. Look at that pull. Can we get closer to the VWAP on this pull?
SPY finding a little bounce.
Yep, I was hoping it wouldn't. From that lower day. This is why I wanted to kind of go out all the way in December so that a move like this wouldn't just screw me completely. Contracts are down 1%, so I'm not tripping here.
Dan, interesting. You're looking for a back test of 510 before it goes. That would be a considerable pullback here.
Market trying to battle back here.
So I'm still watching IMUX here. No position, though. Trying to exercise discipline, although it sure looks like it wants to go.
Doesn't look good. Netflix coming back here. Don't want to see it crack VWAP one more time. If it does, it'll probably break down for sure here. Give it a chance.
Come on. You've got the SPY testing the 30-minute low opening range on the SPY. I'm hoping this 5-minute candle won't close before that.
Daniel asking about a tops trade. Tops could break 860 and you might get a pop above that. I generally am not playing these shippers though, so I have no trades on it. Excuse me.
Out of Excel, that's our one loss on the day. We got a nice win on XPEV, a win on Netflix, now a loss on XEL.
You guys are putting me to shame here. I've done nothing but flat and stop out, stop out. Rough,
all right.
Rough Monday for me. But actually, you know, rough in terms of success percentage, but good in terms of discipline. Reduced size, didn't let myself get into a position where things got worse. So I'm happy with that, but would have liked to have called some more possible long side plays for you folks here this morning. So,
well, let me help you out here. Let me cheer you up a little bit.
Cheer me up.
Cheer you
up. Dun, dun.
There you go. Just look at the height difference, bro. Like,
if
this man is 6'8".
If you interviewed me, it would look very similar.
This man is 6'8", and I'm out here just like, what am I doing with my life?
I do like that hoodie though. That looks comfortable.
Thank you. Got it from Marshall's, a solid $8.99.
Whoa, I like the deals, Zunaid.
I know. I know.
Zunaid's got W's in the chat here this morning. I love it.
It's in my blood. It's in my blood. That's all I'm gonna say. But let me go ahead and share my charts again.
Zunaid, jeez.
I'm just saying. Here we go. SPY went ahead and rejected from the 361.50s, but I need the rejection all the way down to at least at 360.50s if I can get it, to be honest.
All right. Let me address something here because we talk about the banks a lot, and we got some other people in the community taking a look at the banks. So first things first here, and you guys, if you guys have a trade, please interrupt me.
There we go. Netflix. Nice move there.
First things first with the banks, this trade's been very, very difficult. And I've taken multiple stabs at this and failed. So keep that in mind when I'm giving you my analysis. Now, looking at JPM, you're looking for an upside call given the interest rate rise, which I understand. Now, looking at JPM, this actually looks like it's at pretty good support. So for me, if I'm taking a long call here, stop at JPM trades below 104. All right. So that would be my downside stop. Now I'd be looking for this to run probably close to 115. So depending on how much risk you actually want to put into that call position, I would figure that out. I also like to know what expiry you're taking a look at. I would look more towards December, towards the end of the year, instead of something short term. Now, Goldman Sachs gets a little bit more interesting, right? Goldman Sachs here a little bit up. I would use the same thing here. I would really say a break at 290. And I wouldn't be in this, but that's still 13 points away from where we're at right now. Goldman Sachs, I'd really like to see it confirm this curl. I'd really like to see it move back towards 315. So maybe on a 305 or a 310 break, I'd look for the call there. But again, I'd keep an eye on your downside stops here, because the bank trade just hasn't worked out. Every time you think it's going to move, it doesn't, at least for me. All right, Mitch, sorry. I was going a little bit. You're playing SOXL on the way back up here? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking here we get a little bit of reversal back to the mean. So I'm trying to play it back to the VWAP, all right? I'm not trying to play it back towards the high today. Just trying to play it back to the VWAP. I see the SPY giving us a couple candles sideways. This also gives me the outlook that we could come back to VWAP. So I'd want to see the overall market come back to there. And first, SOXL, I'm looking for a move back towards the 850s, 855s. We could take some profits into 845, but this wouldn't be a bad play off the 815 low there. Now we're starting to get a little momentum there. Did take some more profit in Netflix also. As you can see on the right-hand side here, not a bad play there on Netflix. Have a tiny, tiny share left in Netflix, and I'll let it continue to work. I won't let any of the shares from here on out lose on the rest of it. Going to look to see if we can get back above 232s. If not, I'll forget about Netflix there, and I already took some good profits off of the VWAP. And you can see here, after I got in, it barely cracked the VWAP after that and then started holding it, which is a really good sign for us now. We wouldn't let it break VWAP again here, and we can just let this work. SOXL, I'm working on the reversal style. Remember, you guys heard in the pre-market, what did I say were certain styles, trades that I'd like? I'd like reversal styles. So let's see what happens here. SPY below 361 would get me immediately out of SOXL.
Yeah, that 361 is a break that I was hoping for, since we didn't get it on the previous 5-minute candle. I went ahead and closed my puts, but if it does come back and break it, I am interested in going short. I did add to my short again on Rivian, which is 31.32s. We'll see if this one wants to come back down to the 30s.
Melanie, not a SPY fan today.
Melanie repping our chat. We have a long-standing joke that when the market sells off, a bunch of Benzinga pro chatters that are short the market like to cheer on SPY to the downside, and they do it by saying "Die SPY, die." So Melanie, bring in some of that energy from the BZ Pro chat here to the live stream. You know I love that. You know I love that.
Such a nice positive outlook there.
I mean, hey, if it's probably positive for her if she's short the SPY.
Hey, that's how it is, man. Bears make money too.
That's right. We buy and sell stocks in this market.
Sometimes you got to sell them back to the people.
IMUX, by the way, really quick, we talked about potential levels here for IMUX. I was waiting for that break above 560. Really didn't get it. Broke above it briefly twice, but immediately pulled back. We're pulling back here now. So remember, Dan gave us he'd like to see 510 on a pullback, right? So he'd like to pull back to right about here before it goes. So we'll see if we get that. It is holding this 526, but we'll see if it ends up breaking down. So still watching IMUX. This trade not done here yet today, and likely won't be done when we sign off here. This might set up for an afternoon run, so keep that in mind.
Come on, Rivian, just come back down and crack it. It did go ahead and crack lows, but it didn't all the way. Again, my target end of day is 30. which is why I continuously keep taking risk reward type trades on this Rivian. I mean, I've shorted it about 3 times now and taken at least a point on those trades, but now I want more. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get it. Again, I am short Rivian once again at 31.32s, and I still have a couple of YOLOs that are up 2%. I have the $31 puts. If SPY breaks low a day, Rivian, watch out.
How's Apple doing? Coming back to VWAP. That's interesting there. That shows me a little bit of bounce action. Tesla bouncing off the VWAP also. Market actually looks more bullish to me. Tesla is probably the more bullish stock right now.
Yeah, Tesla's definitely got relative strength there. It's above. It's green. It's red to green. Tesla's up about 1.5% almost. Yeah, it's definitely looking much better. If Tesla breaks the 227 to the long side, that could be a nice move.
Yeah, Microsoft was a nice short outlook in the pre-market. They just popped everybody out of that short right out the gates and then hammered it in the algos. They hammered it down to 230. It popped in the open there above 234. Not a bad play there. 4 points on Microsoft on the downside action.
I am surprised Rivian isn't weaker.
Google looking interesting here. Unless we're going to get a full reversal, it could come right back down towards the lows. We'll see.
Market is kind of just in a very, very tight range here. Could say that that's due to the bond market being closed here, but the market doesn't seem to be making big moves yet here this morning. I know we're up 30 points in the Dow. We're well off the highs, but really no damage being done. SPY down 99 cents.
Looking for a nice spike here in StockSell. Spike on the SPY. There's a spike on the SPY. Need the SPY to get through 362. 362 is acting as resistance right now.
Yeah, Shelly, that's kind of what we're saying here. I think that the market might be a little slower due to that bank holiday. You're absolutely right. APDN moving here, by the way, towards highs. Not in this. Didn't actually have this one flagged either, but moving here towards highs. See if it pops through 2 on APDN. IMUX still beneath its VWAP here. Maybe we get that pullback to 510 on IMUX.
Come on.
Bank of America after that initial put, Bank of America, excuse me, Boeing, BA, not BAC. Boeing here after that initial push up to what? Almost 136, 135 and change. We've kind of pulled back here to this 133. Wondering if we trade back down towards 130. Going to kind of be watching that. No position in that though.
SPY still fighting that 362. Can't get through it. If it doesn't get through it here and that candle turns red, you could be careful. You could get a quick washout.
You can see on Rivian, I've got this very, very short-term trend line. If it goes ahead, if Rivian closes 5-minute candle above the 3150s, I'd be out of this short. But so far, it's holding on. We've made money on it twice. I'm hoping to make money on it a third time. Hopefully, it works out in our favor. You've also got Tesla near the high. So if you want to go short Tesla, it's not a bad spot. You could risk yourself above the high a day to get your risk off. But if you're looking to go long, might want to wait till that high a day gets beat, and then you can think about it.
Keeping a close eye on the SPY here. Rejected 362 again. Can't let it come right back down. If it does, you're going to break through on StockSell. Not going to test the bottom at 817 anymore. Just want to see it get back through 830s on the upside. SPY rejecting that 362 just tells me that it doesn't want to hold there. We'll see.
Come on, Rivian. Come on down. See, it's rejecting that trend line, but again, very, very short term. So it's not strong in any sense of the word. But there's Tesla rejecting high day. If that one breaks VWAP again, that could be a good short, especially if the market breaks the lows. There we go, Rivian. Come on down. Come on down, Rivian.
Battle's on here for the SPY. The 362 rejection is the important level to watch here. Breakdown is through the 361.
I'll let Ryan answer when he comes back, but I personally have a Chase business for my trading LLC and my freelance work. I use Chase business. Or how do you get a Chase business checking account? Well, once you have your EIN number, you just go to Chase. You have to set up an appointment with their business manager or whatever, and you just open it up like you would any other checking account. They'll just ask you what type of business you do. They'll ask you a bunch of questions, but if you're not doing anything illegal, you should be fine.
It's all good. Biden pardoned me.
That would be a nice card to have in the back of your pocket.
The battle's
Come
on here,
on,
man.
Rivian.
The battle's on here. SPY battling here.
I tell them I do trading, so I'm not sure why they told you that they don't. You know, I told them I do.
Elon. Oh, there's the spike I was looking for. I'm actually going to add to this stock sell and look for a big push here, right? Nice little add and then look to sell immediately on the spike. SPY just spiked there. I'll show you guys that. SPY just spiked towards that VWAP. So I'm looking for that push now here in stock sell. I'm going to sell some into it as it keeps pushing here. As we added, I'll look to sell some and then sell some off as we keep coming down into the push there. There's a little bit of a push there. Just sold 50% of that push. Want it to continue. No, I can't let it come back to my entry. That's 826. Put a big amount into that and sold immediately into that first push. So got a nice profit into there.
Yeah, with that pop on SPY, that obviously helped the Rivian out as it bounced from 31 back up to 31.30s. Really don't want that 31.50 to be taken out on Rivian. So I'm hoping the SPY rejects this VWAP, rejects the previous close of 362.79. Just revisit the lows. Just crack the lows. Forget revisiting it. Must have patience today. Yeah. You'll notice that I'm not really taking any trades that are like shorter term. The only one I've taken today is Rivian, and that's just a complete YOLO. I'm trying to go out a little bit further, give my contracts a little bit more breathing room, if you will.
It's not causing the pop that I wanted. So I'm just keeping a close eye on it here.
Yeah, Zen bullish. I think that's the 524 rule you might be talking about on Chase. When I used to credit card churn, that was definitely something I had to keep in mind. I know. It is the first time that you've seen me take contracts that far out. That's what the reason I took a week off is because I had lost in what is it, the month? September. And obviously this is what I do for a living. So it wasn't fun. So I tried to take some time out, reevaluate the way I trade, see what adjustments I needed to make. And I decided to go further out.
Not liking this downside action coming back into the market with that kind of push. We should have broke out completely. Going to go ahead and get out of my position of stock sell here for a gain if I can. Putting out an order right there on the limit. Canceling on that. There we go. Got out there. Took a nice little profit into the first spike. Got out of the stock sell. Just getting a little bit uncomfortable for me on that pullback. And could have maybe stayed in it, but with the sizing that I got in it, I looked for instant gratification. I did get the instant gratification, took half off, was looking for it to continue. It should have gone towards the 840s. It didn't do that. I got out of the trade here. Not going to battle with the SPY being trappy on that big wick move up. So took some profit into it, got out some at 834. which was not a bad profit. Got out the rest of it at 823. And so lost about 3 cents on the rest of those shares, but gained at least a decent push on that first sale.
I'm back in the SPY puts at 331 puts expiring December 16th. I got filled at 1639, and then I got filled some at 1643s. My stop loss is going to be the crack of 363. So if it cracks 363, I'm out. My first stop loss or my first take profit is going to be around the 361.50 area, but it may not matter because I'm about 40 cents away from the SPY stopping me out. Again, I grabbed the 361 puts expiring December 16th. I got filled at through night. My average price, let's just put it that way, is 41. Come on, SPY. SPY popping up 8 cents away from stopping me out. Ooh, came right back down. That's what I like. All right, come on, come on, come on.
SPY holding now. Now we're starting to get that little lift there, but it's a little testing there. Thinking about getting back in the stock sell, but just going to leave it alone. Could do maybe if I wanted to look at AMD and Nvda. Those actually don't look bad. I'm surprised that we didn't get that big of a rip.
Added some more for fun at 1620s. Average price is now 1634.
I think the SPY is a little trappy here for me. I'm going to stay out of this move here.
Well, tell it to trap the bulls and send it short. Come on.
It seems like it. I'll tell you that, Zunaid. If there's one thing I'm leaning, it's like trapping the bulls right here and then coming right back down.
Yeah. Well,
Microsoft made another push. Push the VWAP and quick reject there. That shows me a little bit more of a weakening there.
Rivian is back into the $31 level, so I could cover my short here, but I am greedy and I don't care to cover it here. I want my third short to be a nice one. So even though we're in the money,
short there, Tesla.
Woo! There we go, SPY. Come on. All right, the contracts that I purchased at 1620, I'm going to go ahead and sell here at 1668. Let's go, baby.
All right, my boy, coming the short side.
Yes, sir. And Rivian obviously
side.
cracking the 31s. Let's go.
I never got a fill there. I put the order out, didn't get the fill though. That's a little frustrating. I was short on Tesla there, guys, but I didn't get the fill. A little annoying. Thought I had it. Thought I got an instant fill, and then I looked and the order was just sitting there. A little frustrating on that.
I'm back.
Sark is trying to continue. Sark looks good there. ARK probably going to crack down here. Snow. Oh, Snow. Big crack on Snow today. Ah, man.
No, I have a different one for my trading and for my freelance. I have a different one. Is a VWAP the same as a 9 EMA? I don't know the answer to that. So
no, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
I was
going to say no, but I didn't know if it would be like close enough to where it recalculates it. Because the formula is very different, but I didn't know if you ended up with the.
Remember, you're comparing a moving average.
You've got, because see right here on mine, you've got the VWAP, which is yellow, similar to the EMA there as well on the 5. So I don't know if that's what he or she was talking about, but what do I freelance? Yeah, I'm into esports. So I just actually got into Rocket League. I mainly do 2K. So this week is going to be a fun, busy week working with the Hornets, the Raptors, and the 2K League.
Voodoo, Ryan just cleared BA short for 1 point, shorted at 133.77, bought to cover at 132.75. That's exactly what we were just talking about here, Voodoo. Glad that you ended up taking that, shorting the equity instead of the options here. So this is what we were looking at, right? It was really kind of hanging in right
below
by
VWAP too.
Yeah. And as soon as it started to break away, that's what you ended up capturing, Voodoo. Awesome trade right there. Glad that panned out.
Hey, Ryan, do you have a business account for your trading? We had a chat member ask about that earlier to you, but I answered it.
No, it's just no, I don't. I should really do that though. I've been talking to people about doing that.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should link up about that.
I just don't know if there is any true benefit because I think it's just to keep your finances separate.
Yeah, I mean, I would just ask,
but I don't think it helps with like taxes or anything.
I would rely on the professional that you hire for that.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Some of the people in our chat might know.
Yeah. William is talking about TC2000. That's all you, Mitch. Here, I'll put it up. They asked, can you show how you can set multiple screens with TC2000? I just bought the application, but I don't know how to use it.
What do you mean by multiple screens? Just having a different layout?
Maybe like when you do a 4-box type situation. We'll see.
Okay, so one thing is on the bottom right here, you can just have a new tab, right? Or you can duplicate your tab and then kind of do it. But on the main screen, I'll show you right here. On the main screen there, you just want to kind of click charts. There's this pop-out button, though, that you need to understand. And I think that's probably what you're running into is understanding how to pop out things. So if you hit here, you'll see duplicate new tab or undock. You want to undock these and kind of move them into a different screen. And then you can maximize it on that screen. But I'm trying to get short here on NIO. So let me just focus in here, guys.
I went ahead and sold some more of those
short
5 puts
there.
at 1694.
Get it. There he goes. 1354. Short on NIO. Trying to play it right back down here.
Target 1340 on that, or what's your target on that?
First target is going to be 1340. Second target down towards 1320s. Gotcha. Really, it's more dependent on the overall market just leaking out. So look at the overall market heading right down towards those lows. If that can crack, I'll keep looking for this. I also like the XPEV to the short side here. That was one earlier in the day that I nailed, but we'll see what happens now. XPEV also breaking down there. Was towards the VWAP. Rule of 4 played on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Tried to get above the 970. Looks like it wants to break. SPY breaking also. There you go. Nice little 361 flushing.
Let's go.
Let's go,
on, baby. What do we all trade on? I trade on E-Trade, Thinkorswim.
There it goes.
Mitch.
That's going to help.
What do you trade on, Mitch? I forgot.
TC2000.
Yeah,
no, that's his.
No, I'll different ones. So,
right.
You got trade 0. You're gonna use. I do swing trade on some, and you guys will think this is a little bit crazy, but I do have a swing trading account on Robinhood. You guys can hit me later on that. I have a swing trade.
All right. So anyway,
lol, Zunaid's done. Zunaid's done. Oh
it's a swing trading account. It's a swing.
No,
trading
I'm kidding.
account.
In all seriousness, if it's a swing trading account, it's not that big of a deal.
Can we get the
SPY's jumping fast there, guys? Just want to make sure that people are not getting caught in that move.
Can we get the down action? Cold-blooded asset loaded in here for when?
I mean, I'm just saying.
It's cold-blooded.
I'm just saying, you know.
It's how it is, guys. I put some money in there and never took it out. That's the problem there, and I made money in there, so it's kind of one of those things that maybe I should just take it. Yeah, I rolled it till it's gone. Exactly that, Ryan. That was where I made my kind of bigger 2021 profits. So I kind of left it in there, and then also. Some of the profits are sitting in one of those bags named Genie that's in the Robinhood account. So we won't talk about that Genie, though. SPY is just completely wiping out here, guys. That was a hard downside move to 360.50.
Let's go. Yeah, SPY breaking. So look, I'll talk about my puts here in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and sell one more. I only have one left now. I just sold it all by accident. Fuck. All right, well, I'm all out of my SPY puts. The last one I sold at 17.51. All out of my SPY puts. Still have my Rivian short. As you can see, I'm waiting for the lower day break on that one. It's holding up. Sadly, it's not stronger than SPY because obviously it's down 9%, but it hasn't broken the low of day like SPY has. So that's a little interesting for me. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cover some. NIO here, I'll put it up for you on this side.
Yeah, half off there at the 1340s like we talked about. Now let's let it kind of work down there towards the 1320s.
I'm going to hold on to my Rivian. Screw it.
I mean, the SPY action is pretty ugly right now. That's a wipeout.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's ugly, and yet Rivian hasn't broken the low, right? So that's why I'm like, should I not? Because we're up almost 2% on our short.
Wonder if that's on deck here though, because we're near lows here on Rivian.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that we've broken it and it hasn't done it.
The other thing to keep in mind here, Rivian's already down almost 10%.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's kind of like, but I was really hoping it would test that 30s, just because I think it has tested it. Yeah, because it hasn't even gotten to the pre-market lows.
Pre-market low is 30.32.
Which, if it broke 30.50, I'd be like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and, get out of it. But I don't know. To me, here's why I'm holding on to it. Actually, no, that's not even worth it because it's about 20 cents away. I was going to say the SPY, if it gets to the 360s, I believe Rivian would break low, but I don't think that to be the case. All right, fine. Here's what I'll do. I will go ahead and cover the equity short. I'll tell you exactly where my cover is. All right, I covered my Rivian short at 30.83s. And then I still have those YOLOs on Rivian. So those I'll let play around and do what they need to do. Now, if this SPY comes back to the 361s, I'm going to set an alert here so we can all hear the microwave ding. If it comes back up to 361, I will go ahead and grab some puts or go short in some form of fashion. But I am all out of my SPY puts. I am all out of my Rivian equity short. I still have the YOLOs that are up a solid 14%. I've got two, so I want to sell one around 50% and the other around 100%. That's the game plan that I'm moving on with. And the reason I'm looking for SPY to jump up to the 361s is because that was support, which it cracked. Now I wanted to test it, have it become resistance, and then we can go ahead and enjoy some more stuff there. Hell Week is here. Neo was a good play. Nice scalp, Mitch.
That Microsoft short, that's probably the one that I wish I would have gone short overall and start the day, and I could have just literally just been watching this leak out. Microsoft continuing to leak there towards 229.70s. Apple, what's going on with that one? Back down below VWAP. Tesla broke down below VWAP. We'll see what happens there. The oil names breaking down also. So Drip is a decent style play today. Did Tel finally catch a bounce? No, it did not. I was thinking that those could probably get a little bit of a push. It did not in the first hour of the market. We'll see if they come back in the second hour of the market.
Thoughts on Penn? Penn has broken below VWAP. That would have been the first area where you could have tried to go short.
Daily chart on Penn.
Yeah. I think if you wanted to, you could go short Penn here or closer to 30 if it gets a little bit bounce. Your stop loss would be above like 30.20s, 30.40s. But I think you can see it possibly get to low of day on Penn. But I think you might have weaker names out there to short, in my opinion. You're welcome, Duck.
Doesn't look good for the market overall. And this shows me more and more that we might want to test down towards that 357 earlier in the week versus later in the week. This is what I'm thinking, that we break through that 357 even before CPI. Then we can actually see some bounce back towards the end of the week as the banks come out and you get the CPI data on Thursday. But like always, these are always kind of just outlooks and you never know really what's going to happen. The only thing you can do is have situational thinking here on what you're going to do moving forward.
IMUX holding in here at 552. I'm telling you, at some point today, I think that this probably goes higher. Might be after we're off, but keep this on watch for the rest of the day, folks. Really
one
want
of the biggest
579 level fall.
One of the biggest things and tells times that you guys can be watching for is the dollar. What goes on there? We just got a big drop around 10:30, and that's when you saw that spike in the markets. And where you see that spike, it was because the dollar dropped off fast. It is recovering now. Let's keep watch also, as you can watch the overall market. You can also watch the dollar to see what's going on there.
I'm short Tesla here at 222.22. Oh yeah, what a badass. I'm definitely going to make money on this trade. You get an average price like 222.22. It's a moneymaker.
By the way, Bank of America, we talked about Voodoo hit that short earlier. This actually continued down another $1 here. So that trade really working out from that VWAP rejection here at about 133.70-ish. Currently at 131 here. So that retraced to the 130. Should have taken my own advice in it. Should have taken. I'm
Oh, it is sometimes.
based on the feedback from the chat. I'm working more into finding short ideas. We found one today, didn't execute. However, the setup was there, and it looks like someone else already hit it. So
You know what dangerous game I want to play?
What?
I want to play the dangerous game of shorting small caps, such as your, I don't even know an example, but just like finding the locates and this, that, the other. That's what I want to kind of get in the game of. I haven't yet. I usually either go long those or I go short the blue chips, which has been working out for me. I can't complain. By the way, I'm down a point on my 100%. Can't go up Tesla short, but I'm not selling this short. I'm not covering till it breaks 224. I'm not selling.
I ain't selling, I tell you.
Yeah, looks like Joe Rogan was talking about AMC, which is why you might have gotten
that.
that
Why
bounce.
was moving? Okay, there you go.
The
Good
old Joe Rogan trick.
Where do people listen to him live?
Yeah, I only know about the podcasts.
I don't know. What is he on?
Does he do his podcast live on like YouTube? Maybe they just watch a YouTube stream or something.
I don't even know.
I've listened to.
All
his
right,
podcast.
we're getting a little bit more downside action here in this NIO move. Let's see if we can get through the 1330s, take the last little bit of profit, celebrate the day. Boom, boom. Let's go, SPY. Make another leg down to 360. There's 32s. Can we get, you know what? I'll put an order at 31s. Let's not be a little greedy today. Let's put it out there, see if we can just nail down into this downside action here and finish up the day. Wipe our hands and celebrate.
And there's a low day crack, Ryan, on Rivian.
There it is.
There we go. We out. We out. Money in the bank. I'll take it. Man. Take it. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. NIO there going down there towards the 30s. We got in there right or at original entry was 54, getting down there towards 40 and then 31. I'll take it. That's a nice little scalp style. Just base hits today, guys. Base hits. Only got caught really in the XL. That was our down trade on the day. Other than that, good trade there on XPEV. Good trade on XE on Netflix. Bad trade on XEL. Good trade on SOXL and a good trade on NIO. I'll take it.
Nice trade. APDN, more highs here. Wow. APDN, this really was the mover today. I wasted too much time with IMUX, it sounded like, although IMUX might not be done. APDN really moving here. Great move through these two levels too.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and head out. I will be obviously taking care of futures trading at 11, so make sure you guys check us out there. So we can talk a little bit more about the markets and where the markets are headed. We can talk to Jim about that long-term, short-term as well. But Ryan, Mitch, it was a blast coming back, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you. See you, chat.
He'll be back on in just about 12 minutes. So as Zunaid gets on out of here, guys, you guys don't got to go anywhere. Stick around for the futures action. That's going to be coming up next. Do you want to do a little bit of recapping on the day, Ryan? I'll let you go ahead. Maybe call out the biggest movers, what was moving, especially in the small cap land.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start with small cap land. So APDN looks to be the best mover of the day here. Had a very uneventful pre-market, but again, the triggers that we look for all of the time are going to be the volume expansion and a move through some of the key levels. And that's exactly what we got here with APDN. So the first move through 155 here was big. The volume continued to stay elevated. We actually pushed through 176, back tested this 155, and now we're kind of moving away from it. So APDN, this one definitely the mover of the day in small cap land. The one to still watch today, in my opinion, is going to be IMUX. I don't think that this is done, and I wouldn't be shocked if this is on our list for stocks to watch tomorrow. Remember, lots of very high price targets. We're talking 40 and above. Highest one, I think, is 71. So looking at the trading action here, 560 clearly seems to be stopping this. A move through 560, if we set up at 579, should be a long-term trade there. Remember, in the downside, Dan gave us 510 as a potential pullback level. That coincides with this back test that we got right out of the open here. So we'll see. We'll keep this on. I don't think the story here is done. Looking at some of the other ones, we had Sober on the list here today. Sober really had a push out of the open, but really kind of consolidated back right around 3. I think if it stays above 3, that's great. But unsure if we can make a move back towards VWAP here. We'll keep it on the back burner, but that's about it. The other thing to kind of watch here, Mitch, is going to be finger, right? We had a little move here. It's really choppy, not making for good day trading here, but we'll see if this ends up firming up or setting up. I'd love to see the volume expand a little bit more from current levels, but beggars can't be choosers. The other one other small caps here to watch today, NVAX would be one. We had a huge push up here to this 18 level. We're kind of pulling back, but maybe put this on the back burner, see if this starts up again. And then we're going to pretty much just be watching the overall market. AMV had a halt earlier. Looks like this is done, at least for today, at least the excitement. We'll see if we get any other news posts there. So that's about it. Kind of an uneventful day. Remember, the bond market is closed for Columbus Day today. It's a bank holiday, so it looks like it's just going to be a little bit slower today. But that's what I got.
All right, and do want to give you guys some insight of what's coming up for the week. We do got a great premiere that's going to be coming up on Thursday. It's going to be on this show right after 10:45. We're going to premiere the New York Stock Exchange floor tour. You don't want to miss it. It was an amazing event for us to go ahead and tour the New York Stock Exchange. So you guys come check it out. Not everybody gets access anymore. Unfortunately, you got to know someone inside the New York Stock Exchange to get in it now. So check out the video that will be coming out on Thursday at 10:45 a.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss that, team. It's going to be a good one.
What are these new toys you have here? These are...
You got some sup ducks or what? What we building on?
What's a sup duck?
Ah, you see, you'll learn about that.
Is that a Funko toy?
I don't know.
No, these are my little characters.
I love it.
We're coming out
Fantastic.
with these at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
October 6th, we're launching.
My
This
kids
guy,
would love those.
This is the Einstein trading doll.
Oh, I love it. Hey.
It's an actual size.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We'll come back later. I know you're busy. We got the Fed, but these guys wanted to say hi. I know. All right.
Full video out on Thursday, 10:45 a.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss it. Our tour of the New York Stock Exchange is going to be a great time. I got to tell you, there's not many videos that I can even watch myself from beginning to end. And even I enjoyed watching it, so we'll see what happens. Now the market, back to the market action. It looks like we're still leaking on out there. SPY looks like it's trying to take out the 360s on the downside. That's not going to be a good thing for the overall market. Let's take a look at the sectors out there. Defensives, only thing into the green, and that's pharmaceutical retailers. Why is that going up today? Well, Walgreens Boots Alliance is getting a good push today. If you want to look at a stock that is up on the day, it would be Walgreens getting some lift today. I have to take a look at why this is moving, but if you want to catch on why Walgreens is moving, come towards Stock Market Movers. That's where we give you all the headlines and, of course, the expert opinions that you guys want to hear. And that's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern coming up on right here on Benzinga. Let's take a look at what else is moving in the industries out there. Communication services down. And what's down big? Technology getting hit hard and continuing to get hard. I think this is also, of course, on what was just released, right? Well, we did get new kind of licensing mentioned, and China Tech was down. So keep your eyes on seeing the downside action continuing in technology. Energy pulling back finally after kind of big rips last week. You're seeing XOM back down below the 100 as these start to crack. You can take advantage of some positioning with maybe drip, or maybe you're using some options to use a little bit of hedging. If not, maybe you're using some futures action. Coming up next, you guys got a futures show that can show you how you can use the futures market to hedge some stock. Let's say maybe you were long XOM and you expect this pullback here. Maybe you're taking advantage of some futures action in crude to take advantage and hedge to your position on the long side. We'll see what happens. Drip not having a bad day. Kind of expected this, just should have been kind of watching this play, but not a bad one there as you're seeing the reversal in oil today and kind of what I expected to see happen. You guys heard me talk about this in pre-market as these had gone too far, too fast. Consumer cyclical also down big. And what's going to get hit hard there? Resorts and casino, gambling stocks taking a big hit. Auto manufacturers also leading the downside action there. So you could see some continued leaking in autos. UBS coming in today with the downgrade on forward. Look at these VWAP fade. Beautiful looking chart right here. If you guys are ever looking for a bearish pattern that looks really nice, take a look at this pattern right here. This is as good as it gets. So you're getting a declining wedge here. And look at this. Look at the little bounces off the VWAP 3 times. We talk about the rule of 3 all the time here, and we usually do it for the resistance, not the support, right? And so look how you're getting that action here. Now you're going to go right back to it. Let's see what happens this 4th time. Now that we're going through, we should get that breakthrough. Let's see it break through and head down through the 1125, going to the next level. Not a good day there for Ford on those UBS downgrades. GM, similar chart, but this one was more of the VWAP fade. Hard downside action out the gates, shorting around the VWAP. Resistance is usually going to be, pre-market resistance usually going to be your out there. Pre-market resistance around the 32.33s. You could have got short around the 32.10s, or maybe it's slightly above it towards the 15s. Heading down towards the low of the days, the first profit take. That right there towards the 31.76. Then you get a little bit of a bounce. You can hold off of your same resistance, and boom, you get that continuation move. Not a bad trade there for General Motors today on the short side. So that's going to be at least 2 stocks that you guys just got. What? The strategy breakdown of the day. All right. I hope you guys appreciated those little breakdowns right there. And of course, today, shorting a little bit of that NIO wasn't a bad one too. A break of the trend line is what I was seeing. A little bit of topping action continuing down. Could have rode it to this 1325, but just scalped it down today. Not a bad trade there. China EV with the bad news about China tech down and export controls getting tougher had me looking for some shorts on China stocks today. Let's see what you guys are mentioning in the chat. What's up out those? Laugh out loud. Those intros crack me up. Hey, it's how it is. We got to keep going. Joe Rogan is on Spotify. Oh, so that's where Joe Rogan's at. Hey, got to catch him on Spotify then. I actually think I got Spotify, so I got to go ahead and see if I can catch one of those Joe Rogans. All right, we'll see what happens in the overall market. Can we continue down through that 360, or do we reverse towards the end of the day? Not a good day overall for stocks. If you're looking at it, Apple is trying to hold on. So if you're looking for a positive outlook, look for eventually to see if Apple can really make a push above the 140. That's right around here. And so that's what I would be looking to see if we were actually going to come back. That's a strong day coming back there for Apple. All right, it's 10:58. That's going to do it for us. We're going to get you over to some futures action. That's going to be starting up at 11 a.m., so don't miss that. And like I mentioned earlier today, don't miss, of course, the New York Stock Exchange tour. I promise, guys, you guys will enjoy this video. We worked hard on making it full edited, nice production. Don't miss that. That's going to be Thursday, 10:45 a.m. Eastern, right here. Of course, that's going to be CPI day, so a lot of people will be looking at what's going on in the market. And you guys will get, of course, a great interview there from the New York Stock Exchange. And you also get to learn about Jay Woods on the floor. So don't miss that. That'll be on Thursday. I'm going to get you out over now to some futures action. Keep trading in the markets, guys. Like always, it's never going to be easy. Today, we ended in the green. But like always, we're going to keep battling. SPY is testing down there towards those pre-market lows. Look to see if those hold. Pre-market low was 360.06. It's holding up right now. You can see it trying to hold up right around that support. Let's see what happens. Do we get a bounce back in the SPY towards the close? I'll see you guys next. You guys have futures action followed by Benzinga Live. And then, of course, I'll be back on Stock Market Movers. See you guys in a little bit at 1 p.m. Eastern for myself. Up next, go see some futures action. Ask how you could be hedging the recent oil move. especially if you're long stocks. How could you make that approach? Ask the futures guys. They'll give you guys some insight.